Good afternoon, folks. Thanks for taking the trouble to turn out on a soggy day and come to show your loyal support yet again. I always think you see him dressed for the weather, not for fashion. But it's good to see so many of you here. Can I just ask a question before we start? How many of you have actually attended one or more of the hearings at the Winter Gardens? That's tremendous. That's a really good show. It is important, as Tony said, the planning inspectorate are not overly influenced by orchestrated numbers, and those of us who have attended those meetings know that there's a body of opinion that simply regurgitates itself over and over again. It's a small but vociferous group of people who are saying the same things time after time after time in the belief that somehow this is going to make a huge impact. It is right that it should be recognised by the inspectorate, it is right that it should be heard, but it will not, I'm absolutely certain, be given undue weight. Now, one of the reasons I asked how many of you have been, and I'm delighted so many of you have, is because quite a lot of you will have been, but possibly not spoken. Maybe because you think that others are saying what you would have said anyway, and that's fine. All I would say is, if you or any of your friends feel moved to participate, don't be frightened of it. You'll say, well, it's very easy for him to say that because I do that all the time. Well, actually, I don't. I think I appear at hearings, tribunals occasionally. I may have done one in the distant past. Other than that, I've done one other planning inquiry of this kind where I've given evidence, and that's all. But the important thing to remember is, you're a voice, you have a right to have your voice heard. You're not on trial. It's not a judge and a jury sitting to convict you or try and find fault with you. I found the panel extremely fair, very straightforward, when I made a few remarks that I felt I needed to make. But I think there are points that you individually, as residents of Thanet and as supporters of the airport, can make in a way that we, who, if you like, are professional, can't. That doesn't mean that I don't want our local councillors. I'm pleased to see Sam and Emma and Linda here, and probably others. I do. Round the corner? Yes. Sorry. Yeah. I'm pleased to see you here. I would like to encourage you to encourage your colleagues who haven't attended the hearings to try and make the effort to get along and speak. Because they're elected representatives and it's important that their voice is heard as well. I personally think the system is fair. I think it's a process that is working well. I have total confidence in the planning inspectorate to do the job that they're there to do, fully and fairly and without failure. And that means that my confidence in the end of the process is as great now as it was at the start. I believe that we will get the result we want. And I say that because the final adjudication will be based upon fact, not emotion, but on the basis of people who moved down from London 9 months ago and bought a house in Ramsgate and suddenly realised they're on the flight path for an airport, which has been there for 100 years. Okay, they've got a point of view and they have a right to have their voice heard. But we do need to remember that out there are a lot of people who are looking for business, for jobs, for the future, not just of Thanet, but of the United Kingdom. I've said this before, but it's worth saying again. And it's worth you remembering this and maybe saying some of it as well at the hearings that will come up in March. Whatever happens, I have to say the word once and I'll only say it once, whatever happens in Brexit, we're going to need more freight capacity in the United Kingdom, more air freight capacity in the United Kingdom. There simply is not enough to handle the business that we are looking to do as a nation. In the Far East, in Asia, in Africa, in South America. Those high-value goods are going to come in by air. They're not going to come in by sea. The heavy stuff will come in by sea as it always has done. And it will leave by sea as it always has done. But the high-value goods will come in by air. And we need that capacity as a trading nation. And we cannot afford to squander this asset. It's a one-off, it is unique. There is no other Manston anywhere in the United Kingdom. And there never will be, and there never can be. Because of its geography, because of its availability, because it's the right time and the right place for this to happen. And it's up to all of us to make it happen. So I'd like you to get out there and sell the message. To your friends, certainly, but also to the planning inspectorate, if you haven't already spoken. Let them know you'd like to speak. And get on the list, and go along, and have your two penneth. And reiterate to them what you told us, which is that you believe in this and you think you can make it happen. As Tony said, it's had a strange history, but those of us who go back only relatively recently, I've only been in Thanet for 36 years, so I'm still fairly new here, in comparison with some of the families who, well, yeah, you know, they've been here farming or working for generations. We remember an airport from way back from the Silver City days, which Tony did mention, because he's too young for that. But there has been a passenger, a civilian operation from Manston for a very long time indeed. And yes, it's had a checkered history, but parts of it have been very successful. And we believe passionately that the business model, which is founded on a freight operation, a freight hub, but will have passenger traffic, we all want that. That's the icing on the cake for most of us, but we know that it's got to be on a sound economic foundation first. Then we can move forward and afford ourselves the luxury of the freight, of the passenger operation, and of course, let's not forget this, the general aviation. I don't know if any of you watched the recent series of Red Arrows. I found it absolutely fascinating, just thinking of Ted Gurner. But we want that back. And above all else, I've seen and lived with a lot of this for now quite a long time, as you have. I see young people in Thanet looking for opportunities. We're told we're trying to promote what are called STEM subjects, science, technology and engineering. This airport will give us the opportunity to train not just young men, but young women as aviation engineers. We want that aviation engineering school on the edge of the airport. We need those facilities. We need all the other jobs that can come with this. I've looked over 36 years as the Member of Parliament at an island that is begging for opportunity for young people, and far too many of the young people go off to university, either to the University of Kent or further afield, and then go elsewhere to work. Because they're young, they're bright, and there's not enough for them to keep them back here in Thanet. We can change that with this airport. So for me, this is a national interest, certainly, because we need the capacity. But it's also a very, very local opportunity. Not for me, not even, I fear, for most of you, because we are, well, let's be kind and say, halfway through our working lives. But for all those young people out there who are looking to that airport, looking at us to create that future for. So bless you for being here. We're on the right track. We're going to get there. Keep going. We'll get there.